Hello and welcome back to 5 and 5, where we take 5 minutes to ask industry leaders 5 questions. And we are very fortunate to have the wonderful Tushar with us today. Tushar is Head of Product and Marketing Services at Zilingo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Natasha. Thanks for having me.
So I'm just going to get right into it. Tell us an interesting fact about yourself.
So a couple of interesting facts about me. I moved to Singapore without ever having visited the country. So as soon as I landed here, I moved in with my bag and baggage. I can open a beer bottle with my toes, and I have a dog with Pepsi who I haven't seen in almost a year.
Oh, poor Pepsi. So tell us, how has Zilingo been affected by the COVID situation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Zilingo, whose predominant focus has been on fashion over the past couple of years, has been affected. Fashion is a non-essential category, and demand has overall just slumped, and reasonably so. I mean, we're in a phase of the world where people don't want to buy clothes. But what we decided to do was take a step back over the past month and a half, really, and leverage the same philosophy that Zilingo was built on. That is to connect fragmented supply with fragmented demand, and use the same supply chain infrastructure that we've created over the past couple of years to look at personal protective equipment.
Amazing.
The production of which isn't too far off from apparel because it comprises masks and gloves and gowns.
Yeah.
So we've been working with factories in countries where the production of personal protective equipment is abundant, and connecting them with countries who are struggling to procure this equipment for the frontline workers. So working with a lot of governments and working with a lot of private companies to be able to connect them with these suppliers. Closer home to the product that I'm working on in Zilingo, we've also taken a chunk of Zilingo's supply chain philosophy by connecting fragmented brands across the world with marketing solutions, right? These are brands who can't afford large-scale content or can't afford agencies. We produce content and we produce distribution or performance marketing for these brands using our in-house team as well as smaller agencies across Southeast Asia. We're basically helping them plan for the next couple of months because credit and liquidity is super.
I was going to say, you're probably not able to produce all the content right now, but yes, if you can help them plan for the future, that's
for the next
great.
couple of months. Also working very closely with municipal corporations in India, for example, who need this content. It's great how governments are moving to Telegram and Instagram to kind of keep citizens informed. And we realized that we have the ability to help them produce this content. And just we're doing that in India. We're working with education companies as well to facilitate a lot of the learning from home and e-learning content that they need. So it's been interesting, exciting times.
I bet. And that kind of leads me on to my next question. So what have you been putting in place to sort of future-proof your business?
So internally at Zilingo, we've been working a lot on learning and development and upskilling our entire team based across Southeast Asia, and prepping them for when markets return to normal. And of course, just building out our client base and building out our supply base and creating stronger infrastructure internally for when markets return to normal.
Great. I mean, we're in a very exciting and strange period in our lives right now. How do you think that this has affected the way that we're ingesting content and the way we're communicating with each other?
I mean, the pivot's been pretty amazing in terms of how the world is consuming content right now, right? Content streaming applications have seen almost a 20% uptick across the world. We spend from 53 minutes on average on a day on Instagram to today about 120 minutes, 120 to 150 minutes. And this is just across the world on average, right? And the greatest sort of example of the power of this content consumption pivot has been Quibi, which was a short form streaming platform that was launched on April 6th versus the original plan to release it, I think, in September. And in just the past 3-4 weeks, it's got about 1.7 or 1.8 million downloads. So a lot of short form content. And TikTok's been the best testimony really to that.
Is there any content that you've been particularly impressed with that you've seen?
I've seen a couple of spots so IKEA's stay-at-home spot was very, very interesting and beautiful. Uber's "Thank you for not driving with us" ad was also really beautiful and very quickly produced, right? Just quick cuts of people staying at home and nice. It was nice. I love how these companies are kind of putting out stay at home and don't use us.
Yeah.
Right now, so it's very
Although there was a bit of a controversial one with the with Netflix, where they were giving the spoilers to everyone. Did you see that activation?
I heard about that. Yeah.
It was a really cool concept as a concept, but ultimately the people that were out were key workers and things like that. So they were just spoiling they were giving spoilers of shows, saying, you know, stay at home, otherwise you're going to find out what's going to happen. And but it was only really the people that were out doing good that were seeing it. So a bit of a fail in the end, but
It's quite interesting, actually, almost kind of punishing people who are out.
Yeah, that was the intention.
Interesting.
Anyway, we're out of time, but thank you very much, Tushar, and I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much, Natasha.
This has been 5 and 5.